Hey everybody, it's Christine up today with a double shot kit layout from the ScrapRoom, and this one is using Simple Stories, and I'm going to tell you, I love how this layout turned out. So stay tuned to watch how it all comes together. So you can see I'm starting things off using several of the patterned papers and just doing a tearing technique. Nothing fancy here. I am just simply tearing so that I get a white edge revealed on my tear. And that is something that I couldn't tell you exactly how to do it. I have to actually be doing it in order to explain it. So basically you have to pull up and then you see I trim so that I get that side revealed. If you do it the other way, it works the other way, and I am not verbally explaining this well at all, but hopefully you're getting it from watching me doing it. So I'm going to create these all the way down the layout to create a torn look, because this is a vintage collection from Simple Stories. This is just a technique that I like to use with their vintage collections. And I use it in various ways, but it always looks really cool. So a couple of things to point out. One, I'm only using 2 different papers, but by using 2 different papers, it makes each one stand out a little bit more. And you'll also notice that one is a darker paper with less color to it, and the other one is a striped one. So I didn't want to pick 2 super busy ones. And you kind of just have to look at your papers and see if they coordinate well. Second thing is, you notice that I didn't adhere them until I thought I had enough torn, and then I will start. And I am just putting a strip of adhesive across the top straight part, and then I will tuck it underneath the strip above so that the tearing is still revealed. And then at the very end, I'll kind of pull all those up to make them look distressed and have further distressed, and have a little more dimension, really. So you can see how it's coming together. I'm not necessarily putting them back in the order that I cut them or anything like that. I'm just alternating patterns. Now, as we speed up and land at the bottom, you can do whatever you want with the bottom one, whether you leave it torn or if you straighten it out to end at the bottom. It's kind of just an artist call on that one, what you think looks good. Here's where I'm pulling those edges up, and I'm just using my fingers to manipulate the paper a little bit. And you can see just immediately how much of a difference that makes. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is work on that top section. I knew from this paper that I have, I wanted to use the lighthouse, and I was thinking I would use it towards the top of the page, but that's not what I end up doing. I actually end up using it kind of incorporated in the whole design with the pictures. But this paper right here, it would be great for making a really clean and simple layout with a nice beach photo, but it also is great for picking apart the different elements to use on your layout and just doing some simple fussy cutting. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just cutting out that lighthouse. And this gives you a look, that there with the extra strip gives you a look of what kind of my vision was and that it wasn't going to work. So I trimmed off the waterways that were attached to the lighthouse there. And then I'm going to use a little portion of this top part with the cloud and skies, and I am going to put that across the top of my layout so that it will look still like a beach scene. So I'm going to secure that with my adhesive, and then I will build out the rest of the layout down below. So these frames came with the kit, and we probably all got different ones. This one happens to be a circular one, so I'm going to use that to frame one of the pictures of my son. And I'm excited to get these finally onto the layout because I've had these pictures for 4 years, and they were a really fun, memorable moment. So I've kind of been holding on to them, and I love that I did hold on to them because I needed just the right collection for it. And it needed to be a layout I loved because it's a memory I just loved. And so this really achieved something for me because it was probably, honestly, my favorite memory of him from that year. And so that was really fun to be able to get it documented and get it done in a way that I really love. So you can see I added the lighthouse there over on the left-hand side, and then I put the frame just a little bit over it, and I'm loving, you can see it looks like just a really cool scene already. So now I'm going to pick out what other pictures I want to get on there, and I'm going to trim those down, obviously not going to keep them 4x6. I'm going to end up with them being about 2x3, and I will mat those on white and secure those on there as well. Now, typically as I create, I've already added my title at this point, but I just wasn't sure where I was going to go with my title on this one, because a lot of things could work, or I could create something completely custom. In the end, I decided to go ahead and use some ephemera, one that says beach vibes, and I'm going to tuck that in there in between the lighthouse and one of the pictures. And then I'm going to add some different I guess it's seaweed or sea plants or something like that, pieces, tuck those in behind the photos. I'm also going to add this crab on there because at this time he was collecting crabs. And you can see, like, there's not much more needed. It's looking really, really good. So I'm going to just add on maybe a few little details with these hearts. But I am not going to go too over the top with much more because I love it at this point. So again, this is the double shot kit, 2-page kit that you can get in addition to the Flavors of the Month kit, making you able to have 6 new page kits to work with each month. And this one is from Simple Stories in the August kit. I will link you to the scrap room down below. Be sure to visit soon.